Are you ready? Let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, folks. Plasticados from all over the planet. Good to have you here. And Rick.
And Rick.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, howdy. How you doing, Jim?
Great to see your
Jim always gets mad
sunny face in the mornings, Matt.
Jim always gets mad because I talk about Formula One, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll stop talking about Formula One when I stop seeing dogs all over the place.
Hey, she's the mascot of this place.
Oh, boy.
Everybody wants to see Miss Mia up there.
I got dogs on stickers, dogs on.
Yep. Well, that's your. Well, it's either dogs or guitars, and I don't play guitar, so
There you go.
Oh boy.
You couldn't even. Happy anniversary. Thank you. It is our anniversary. 7th anniversary.
7 years.
And
7 years, man.
Wow.
That was 7 years ago. Jim stopped by your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more than he stopped by before we actually had it out. It was 7 years ago, day before yesterday, that we shipped the car.
Yep. That would have been the gray ghost.
I think you've seen it when it was in 3D printed.
And Matt saw this.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
And somewhere along the line,
that was longer
than
that belongs in the museum.
Yep. What's that, Rick?
We've been in business longer than a Hollywood marriage.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Lucky 7.
Come
Go
on,
get
Ron,
a
quit kissing Jim's ass. Me is better than F1. Come on. Are you kidding me? Dude, Lewis, my Ferraris are in the hunt today. And my boy Joseph I like Joseph because I like that PPG car, that paint job.
Yeah.
Although I did like last week Solo Cup paint job on the cheating car. Did you see that? Did you see though?
No.
So now we got Foyt cheating, we got Andretti cheating, where they got disqualified, and I guess I forgot what team it was. Caught Ganassi drawing out the brake rotors on Pelot's car last week. Nobody cheats in race, but only Penske cheats, right?
Well, they should have been smart enough to at least do that at the shop, not do it at the track.
And then Penske fires it. Penske fires his like number one guy. I forgot the guy, right? And McLaren hires him a week later. I mean, what kind of what the hell? I mean,
Rick, I sent you a video this morning of it was an old Holman and Moody engine, and they must have used a jeweler's saw to cut out the cross section between the 4 holes of the manifold. So when you looked down in with the carburetor on, it looked like it was correct. But what they do is they pull the carburetor off, yank this X piece out of the manifold. So underneath the carburetor, it was completely open.
They did that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. You know what? The cheated. Everybody cheats. They always will cheat, and they'll always get caught here and there.
Yep.
But you know, the problem is it was Penske who got caught cheating twice after he bought the series.
Right.
And it really wasn't Penske. It was the people that worked for him. He had no idea. So it's just, and then all the guys that bitched and moaned all got caught cheating since. Andretti got caught, Chip got caught, and I guarantee you, Andretti, the team principal, the owners didn't know they cheated. It's the engineers, and same with Ganassi. Ganassi had no idea they were cheating, but the engineers want to keep their jobs. A good example: Roger fired his guy, and McLaren had him the next week.
If it ain't in the rule book, it's fair game.
What's funny is Open Wheel seems to make like a bigger deal about it. That's one thing I love about NASCAR fans. Oh, we got caught cheating. They were just hoping they got away with it. They could care less.
Folklore. When they get caught, it becomes folklore.
Yeah, you're a hero if you got to sit out 3 weeks,
It's like getting thrown into Facebook jail.
Yeah, in Open Wheel, they're more, and they all do it. Let's face it, they all do it. And but yeah, in NASCAR it's more acceptable. But how about that Atlanta race? I could do 36 Atlantas a year. I've decided.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Everybody's really loving that.
Well, Matt, so now the track's like aging. So it was that, push, how you could push it like Daytona and Talladega. Mm-hmm. You can do that 2-car push by each other.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now it dive bombs like the old mile and a half. So you can also dive bomb. So you got like the options are, it's got more ways to pass than any track on the circuit.
It's got more than one groove, and it's just
if you got a good car.
I've always liked Atlanta, but yeah, it's definitely
now it's like, and I'll tell you, it was I could see it. The best dive bombers were Chase and Keselowski.
Yeah,
I like Chase because he sells a lot, but I like Keselowski. And it was a good race. I thought one of those two were going to win.
I miss it when that was the last race of the year. I always like that as the last race of the year.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know why they don't find another mile and a half and do the same damn thing to it. We'd get 4 great races.
Yeah.
I think is Texas a mile and a half or 2?
I think it's
somebody
it's a mile.
Chime in there.
I don't know. Let us know. The people know. They always school us.
I think
Fontana was 2.
I think Texas.
I think it's 2. A mile and a half. That's what. No, I'll tell you the track they should do it to. They should do it to Charlotte, so the World 600 is on that kind of a track. What a show they would put on on Memorial Weekend. That would be the track if NASCAR, really wanted to put on a show on Memorial Weekend. Holy crap! Because it's definitely an eye catcher.
Texas is a mile and a half, and there's rumors that they're going to do it to Texas.
Ooh.
Mm. Well, it automatically elevates you. Automatically. You get more fans, you'll get more everything because that's a hell of a show to go to. that's definitely become the best track on the circuit right now.
Yeah.
And look at the finishes. They had photo finishes, what, 3 wide that I don't know, 4 races ago. Or was that 4 now? With Daniel, member.
Yeah.
Juan Suarez. And then they had the second segment. They had a photo finish in that one. I mean, that track is just insane.
Yeah,
but yeah, fun.
If you did that
and
to
this
two tracks,
weekend,
you'd be making cookie cutters.
So this week it'd be great because you get 4 races then.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know, and then this week, so we got Chicago. I hear this is the last Chicago. Is that right? The street race in Chicago.
I think so. I thought that they weren't doing it this year, and I was surprised. But yeah, I think this is the last one.
Yeah, I mean it's different. Could have an odd winner, but we'll see. Bowman won last year, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, now I'll tell you that cut line's getting cut off real quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to show something real quick for a second, Rick. I could only
dog?
No, no, the Chase Elliott kit. I could only get it by sharing the screen. So, guys, Chase's win from last weekend is up pre-order right now on the web store.
That was my idea. I put my foot down on that one. I said, "Well, we've never done a Chase Elliott winning off-brand paint scheme." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, you know what? The car that baby blue stuck out so good at the track. Then it was over. I thought, oh boy, that paint job's kind of funky. But then they had the story with the was that a little girl?
Yeah.
The cancer patient or whatever it was. And it just was such a beautiful story. And how they brought him on the track and everything. And yeah, you had to do the car. I mean, that was cool.
Is it going to come with an optional decal for the O on the side?
Let me get my crystal ball here. Let me see.
More like
it says more than likely optional tire mark.
Awesome.
An optional tire mark where you can put it on or not put it on.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I built it, I'd put a tire mark on it.
Yeah. It's perfect. It looks like it belongs there. It almost looks like it's part of the wrap.
Well, especially the way it was painted with the kid, you know, putting all the stuff on there. I like the Band-Aid. I didn't realize the Band-Aid thing till later.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off the Napa, that looks pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Got that. We got new box art for Pillow. It's all approved, ready to go. We got Pillow. We got I think what's in box. We got Pillow's box art done, and we got a super sale going, guys. Marco popped the sale up before I even knew it. The 4th of July weekend sale, 20% off. Go to the website. Not on that card, not on pre-ordered stuff. In stock stuff, 20% off.
In stock stuff. Yeah.
This weekend only.
I'm showing you stuff that's pre-sale. It's not if you want to go see the stuff that's on sale, you got to go to
the store. Yeah. I like that, William Chung. Yeah. It's the first time I've ever read comments. William wanted to know, you going to get a dozen of the donuts?
Funny
Good
guy.
one, William.
Let's see, what other goodies do I have on here that I can show that we've got at the web store?
Michael, looks like they're ribbons. Super sale, yippee! It must be close to quarterly reports. Marco's got a sale going. That's a great one. He'll probably run that at Indy too.
See, did I have
the last of the doubles? You think we're going to see another double anytime soon? I don't think so.
Mhm.
That one we just shipped, right? The
Yep.
I like that, Tony the Tiger.
It just shipped that, and let's see. Let me scroll
The only
down.
way Kyle Larson's getting another car is if he wins the championship. He already he hogged a bunch of them.
Yep. A lot
Your
of
boy
good.
hogs. What did he get? Like 4 cars this year? 3 cars.
I think it's 4 cars.
The Indy, on the Kellogg's. Yeah, he got 4 cars between the World 600, the Indy car, the Kellogg's car, and his regular car. He's
Yes,
hogging
Tim,
up all those.
we will be restocking the accessories and tools and stuff like that soon.
Coming soon.
You sold that stuff out, huh?
Yep. Let's see.
I don't think Michael Chase is going to do the double. Doesn't seem his personality.
No.
66, 67, Brian. They got a good body. Ravel's body. Just put it on our chassis.
Yeah.
Ravel has a 66, 67 body. And Jim has front ends if you need it for the 67 car. He'll print you one.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I got one.
I do too. I got it in my car up there. But yeah, we're not gonna invest into a body that's already a good body. Ravel's body's good. Just buy their car, throw it on our chassis, and probably could use the Gray Ghost. Gray Ghost. I would assume the Gray Ghost roll cage should fit in there pretty good. Yeah.
We'll have to experiment with that.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to recommend the Gray Ghost roll cage. I know those cars pretty good.
What about Gen 6 cars?
Someday.
But someday.
Yeah, I mean, we got it right now, guy. I love how people think 4 or 5 cars down the road, or even 2 cars down the road. I mean, we're just trying to figure out how to get NHRA, the Ron Capps car out, let alone thinking about, we never dreamed, Matt, that we would have a NASCAR license and do the current car on the track, right?
I remember when
it
hit.
Was a dream. It was something we dreamed about. And that, and we always hoped we had, an Indy car on the track. Then it was NHRA, if we had the big 3. Boy, wouldn't that be cool if we had the big 3? That was kind of like a dream,
Yeah, and you got it.
And we got it. So, I mean, you guys are way ahead of us.
Shane, I would say email Rick.
What?
Stickers and decals missing from the kit of the month. Marco's just so swamped, he's just not getting back to people. So just go ahead and Rick at salvino.us. He'll answer you back real quick.
He didn't get his decals in his package?
The extra stuff, yeah.
We'll throw it in next month.
Kyle Larson IndyCar ships this month, I believe.
No, next month. It's running
August?
behind. The boxes aren't here yet.
Oh, okay.
The boxes aren't here.
Well, it is July, so.
No, there's no Marty Robbins kits on this site. Sorry, Keith. You gotta go to the club site.
That's a Builders Club exclusive.
It's a Builders Club exclusive. Yep. Of
course, then again, I could show it. It might draw people into wanting to be into the club.
It's not approved yet, though.
Not approved box yet. So, yep. Membership has privileges.
Well, Alvin, what are you hoping Marco gets sorted out? What? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
just being able to get back to people in a timely manner because he's just been swamped.
Call any of the numbers and leave a message, guys. We call back everybody. These people that say, "Oh, you guys don't get back to me," we call back even Chris had COVID, and I sat there at the office alone, called back every number. In fact, I hooked up one of my buddies, been in the club forever from San Diego, never been in the system, always that outside system. I hooked up like 6 guys. I forgot I got him. I forgot now who all they were. Bunch of guys, though, you'd know their names because they've been in the club forever, but they were in before we had the system. So they wanted to go to their computers. I go, nah, you know me, I'm a cell phone guy, Jim. I walked them through right on their cell phone, right when we were talking. And they're all in the system. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
That makes it a little easier for those impulse buys. Oh, I'll just put it on my phone. Get on my phone. It'll be an hour before I get to my desktop.
It's just the way where it's automated. So that means they don't have to call up and go, "You guys didn't charge my car," depending on what's going on. This way it's automated. It charges on the 5th automatically, no matter what the hell we do. And we don't have your credit card. Only Shopify has it. So it's a more secure deal. Well, I don't know if it's more secure. It's like we're not going to give your credit card to somebody, but you know what I mean? It's just it just keeps us out of it, having to put credit cards in and stuff. And the only thing is they do have a weird deal where if you want to change your credit card, they have a double verification. We have to send you a link. So that way someone can't go into your account and change your credit card without us saying okay, and without the email that goes to the credit card saying okay. It takes a double verification to change a credit card, which is actually a good system. James, someone just bought some.
Yay.
I had my phone on. I used to have it muted, but I had to wake up this morning, so
it went cha-ching.
It's our website. For some reason, Marco set my phone up to get every notification there is. So, anyways, I got my Lotus still going. I got my engine. Got to work on the engine cover, Matt. We need a peg in the back. We need a peg in the back. You got that peg. Do you ever get the peg in the front from Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, we need a peg in the back because going over those.
Well, let's talk about that off camera.
Why?
Because nobody knows what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. A peg in the back.
Well, the guy that needs to know knows what I'm talking about. Right, Matt?
Peg in the back.
Peg in the back on the bottom of the engine covers. And then you're going to do something trick to the top.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, mine's looking good. I'm just waiting for parts. I did show you guys Jim's 3D printed. You get both. You get 3D printed and the spun metal exhaust. Yeah, we're just waiting for the last couple parts that the guy forgot. Of course, he forgot a part on the rear and a part, 2 parts on the front. So you can't go any farther. You're like stuck.
Oh well, we'll get it fixed.
Yeah.
I'm making parts. Yeah. I'm going to cast some more stuff up today. So, well, at least I got a mold today. I might be able to cast it tomorrow and ship it Monday. So,
yeah. So there's a lot of parts, man. We definitely made a lot of parts.
A lot of parts. To lay them out and it's going to make for a cool kit.
It's easy build though. It actually is very easy.
Sorry.
And Matt got sick. Wait, Matt was laid up for what, about a week and a half?
Yeah, close to 2 weeks.
So yeah, a dog, and there's another dog. By the way, Lewis Hamilton was quickest in session 1 and 2. Just to let you guys know, every time you see a dog, I'm going to talk about Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, practice was good yesterday. IndyCar, they had the double. I like the double sessions. Excited to see qualifying today. I love IndyCar's qualifying. 2 groups, 6 go. So the 12 have a shootout for 6. Then they have a shootout with 6 for the top 3 rows. You know how you line up. Great little system. And they only give you, I think it's something like 2 sets of tires. So, or 2 or 3, I forget what it is, but everybody's burned up by the time they get to the final session.
Yeah.
So it's actually really cool. NASCAR's never going to make qualifying great. It's why their racing is so great. Is their qualifying stinks because it doesn't matter where you qualify in a NASCAR race. No, it's just the way it is. You know, you can pass anywhere. Maybe the road courses a little bit. Yeah, I'd say the road courses. But, you know, they mainly run ovals. And really, it doesn't matter where you qualify in an oval. You know, so yeah, I remember. I don't ever remember seeing a butt in the seat during qualifying when I used to go to the races at a NASCAR race.
Yeah,
it was like the track was closed. You know, except for the campers. You know, the campers on the infield and stuff.
Well, you know, now there's
nobody sitting in the seats.
They get to sell tickets. They get to sell advertising time on television, and we get to watch a little bit more. So, nothing, not bad.
Oh, I love it. I love it when they have every practice on. I mean, put it on in the background. You know, I liked whenever, you know, they had before they started limiting practice. I think it was COVID they did that, right?
Yeah.
Where they used to have those long practices where you could just flip it on, build models, not even pay attention. But it was just cool, you know?
Yeah.
Now, man, practice is, gosh, it's like, what do they get? They get maybe an hour?
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's fire through the kits. One of my favorite. What'd you think? Hey, you get your Richard Petty yet?
Now that I just closed out all of those,
send you your Riverside car.
I just closed out all of those, Rick, because I'm going to show the video because it's going to take a little bit of time. But I wanted to seeing somebody that's on here.
Okay.
And I'm not.
Hey Matt, did you get your Riverside?
Rick, I'm going to mute you in a minute. Seeing somebody that's on here, and he didn't want me to drop his name because he's working on getting our shirts and stuff going together. We should be the team should be getting some samples in the next couple of weeks of new t-shirts and polo shirts, and so we've got a new vendor, and we're gonna check those out. We're gonna see what kind of prices we're looking at. Gonna try to keep things reasonable for you guys and great looking. So look for that coming up before too long. Now let me bring up our
Hey, wait. Let me fix that real quick. Let me fix that before you're done. And it's not us selling you shirts, okay, guys?
Right.
So if it don't fit, it don't whatever, don't call us. It's an outside vendor. Call them. We're just letting them use our name so you guys can buy shirts. So if your shirt don't fit, don't call me.
Okay, so
I'm going to tell you, yeah, good luck. Go call them. It's all is a link.
So what I have for you folks today is
all right, Jim. Let's see what you did. Come on, a Jim Rogers.
It is a brief history of Salvinos J R Models. 7-year anniversary was Thursday, and here is a little slideshow of box art and little Yeah, little history lesson. So let's see if we
Cool.
get this thing going without screwing it up too
Let's
bad.
see what she did. I never seen it. It flew by so fast. I don't remember.
Rick and I have known each other since 1989 when we started working together on sports figurines. I did the sculpting and he did the selling. About 1993, his business started going more towards the stuffed bears, and mine went back more into the toy sculpting direction. But even though we weren't working together, Rick and I stayed in touch because of racing. We'd talk to each other on the phone, or he'd come by my studio and we'd visit, but it was always about racing. After I moved to Texas in 2013, we started talking about the idea of about doing some sort of modeling, some whether it was accessories or something. And I started taking some lessons at the classes over at the local community college, learning SolidWorks, a CAD program. And around 2016, we decided to just generally go into the model making business. That first Olds 442 took me probably over a year to create, and that was the easy part. The next difficult things for us were trying to learn how to do the mold making and how to do the production and the easy parts and mostly difficult parts. Uh, but we got through that and learned a hell of a lot, and we're still learning. Every kit we make, there's something we do better to make it build better, make it more efficient, make it cost effective, make it better for Chad over at the molding company to be able to produce the kits. We got through those. We learned a lot. We try to avoid most of the mistakes. We also, that first year, we signed our first licensor, and that was General Motors, and they have been fantastic partners this entire time. July 3rd of 2018, we started shipping the Buddy Baker Gray Ghosts, and through that kit, we met a great and indispensable partner and resource named Lauren Rainier. His dad owned that team, and we were introduced, or we met him through the car. He has introduced us to several other teams, drivers, uh, people, reintroduced Rick to some of his old friends and colleagues from years before. So it's been a great partnership working with Lauren. That first year, we put out a whopping 3 kits. Woohoo! Shortly after the release of that Gray Ghost, we were contacted by a guy named Pete Vetri of Atlantis Models to see if we were interested in the 1980s monogram stock car molds. Yeah. So in 2019, we released 10 kits, including 3 of those revived monogram kits. We feel like it's kind of an honor. We're the stewards of that portion of model car kit history. It's kind of cool. As another great addition to our lineup, we were also able to license Rick's family's great friend. You may have heard of him, a guy named Richard Petty. What an honor to have him involved with this company, and I've gotten to meet him. I've gotten to meet Dale Inman. It's a trip to run into him at the races. But in October of 2020, while we were working with Ryan Beadle to license the Tim Richmond cars that belonged to his dad Raymond Beadle of Blue Max Racing, he introduced Rick to Joe Mattis, who was in charge of the licensing division for Hendrick Motorsports. And we signed with them early in 2021, And later, Joe introduced us to a couple of our favorite ladies, Megan and Heather, who run the NASCAR licensing department. They have been fantastic for the guys. And in May of 2021, we signed a contract with them, and then we had to sign a very important little non-disclosure agreement, which kind of has been led to being called the big lie. We were given the files, all of the files on the next gen car, and for 5 months we had info that even the teams didn't have. My fingers are shaking my paper right now as I'm reading this. It was really a big deal. They didn't know about the car. The model builders didn't know about the car, and some of the model builders became pretty angry that we did not go back and do the Gen 6 car. I kind of think we made the right choice in doing what we did. But in working with the Penske team Cup cars, doing the Penske stock cars, we met Greg Daughtry. He's our licensing rep there, and he introduced us to Holly and Alicia that are with the Indianapolis licensing department and have been outstanding to work with for Rick and Marco and Chris. And they put us in contact with the teams and provide us with fantastic artwork. You've seen the finish line artwork boxes and the photos. They've just been fantastic getting us those images. Also in 2023, funny car driver Ron Capps, his agent Paul was told by Mandy at Toyota that they needed to contact us so that we could do their funny car. So Rick and Marco went to the Pomona NHRA finals and met with Ron Capps, met with Paul, and that opened the door to us to do the NHRA in our lineup, to add the funny cars. And maybe down the line, we'll get into doing the rails and some of the others. And I think there's some likelihood to that. Well, hopefully before the end of this year, we will have the Toyota Camry body done, molded, and into production, so we can return that, get some of the licensing going there. And probably earlier in next year, we may even get into the aero package for the Indy cars. This past April, we celebrated 5 years of the Builders Club. If you know it, you know it. And I don't know how many of you builders have been a part of the club, because they come and they go depending on this, personal circumstances in life. But there's usually a constant 425, 450 people in the club, and some of those members have been there from the very beginning. It's almost like a family. And, that's the thing about Salvinos J R Models. It's become more than just a couple old friends playing with car models. It's become a community of builders, industry partners, shop owners around the country. Stars of racing are even building some of our stuff. I refer to y'all as Plasticados. You're our model building family, part of this whole thing. And, for those who have been with us long enough, you know that we have always been about American racing and planned on making NASCAR, IndyCar, NHRA kits from the very beginning. And we're getting there. We're closing in on the NHRA. And then now we're adding the multimedia kits to the Salvinos J R Models lineup. So if you've been counting on the images as they're rolling through here, which I doubt many people are counting, 2018 we had 3 kits, 19 10 kits, 20 10 kits, 21 we had 12. In 22 we popped up to 27 kits, 23 39, and in 2024 last year we had 45 kits. So far this year, we've done 15. That adds up to 161 kits that Salvinos J R Models has put out, and that's not even including our uh, kind of a partnership with Wes and him putting out the modifieds. So that's a lot of stuff with the Salvinos J R Models logo on the box. And we appreciate you being part of this, part of the family of Plasticados, and look forward to more stuff for more years with you. Let me unmute us all. There you go. There's a brief history of
That was neat.
JR Models. So yeah, it's cool to get to see all the boxes.
Hey, Matt.
I knew we were somewhere in that number of. I was thinking we had a little bit more than that, but still, 160 kits with our little.
How many do we have?
Rick logo on it.
106. How many?
161.
60?
161. Yep.
Wow.
That's awesome. Who'd have thought it, huh?
I don't know. I'm just worried about the next one. Trying to get the next one out, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I never really thought to go back and think, it's like
pretty good for a
what's
garage
in front
band.
of your face right now. I like how you ended it. I like how you ended it with the multimedia kits that we got coming out and the Ron Cap's car that we're working on right now.
Some big stuff.
I'm hoping that if everything goes good next summer, that we should have our first NHRA car, which is exciting. As you see, it takes a year. As Jim was explaining, it took us over a year to get the next gen car out. Took over a year for the Indy car, and it's going to take over a year for the funny cars. It's not that fast. Yeah, the funny car is a little tougher because not everything's in CAD. The other cars had a lot more CAD to them. We're able to supply them more stuff. Where Paul's going out and measuring stuff, for Jim on the funny car and, giving him sizes and things like that. But that one's, a little tougher.
Yes,
like the multimedia ones.
Wait on that one. Mm-hmm.
But any chance of 90s kits? Yes, we own all the bodies. We need a chassis.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to call up, donate some money, we'll make a chassis real quick and we'll get our 90s out.
Chassis designed. We just got to start cutting metal, but we've got other things.
Did I answer it?
Yep.
Yeah. And the money's going to NHRA next. Sorry, guys. And a Toyota body and wings wings for the IndyCar road course car. I mean, that's the priority right now. To think past that, that's already a lot. I don't think people realize money-wise how much that is, just what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
New bodies, a fortune. Those damn wings are a fortune.
Yep.
And then a whole ground-up funny car. Man, it's really hard to think past. I don't know how we're going to pay for what we already decided.
For some of you guys, here's a little perspective. For us to do a body mold, you can go out and buy a new car for the cost of a body mold. No, it's not a BMW or a Mercedes, but you can buy a new car for the cost of a body mold. You want a
pretty
full
close
car like the Indy car. You go out and buy cash. Buy a house. It's a house.
Yeah.
So that gives you a little bit of a ballpark perspective. And how many houses and how many new cars have we bought, Rick? Oh, that's something I didn't figure out. How many molds?
And we're working out of a garage.
Mm-hmm. Some of us are working out of a barn.
We're garage
a little one at that.
Yeah, barn. He's working out of a barn. We're a garage band. What do you expect?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's pretty.
Come pretty far. We're having a great time.
It's pretty impressive when you think about it. What you guys have done with so much with so little.
So much with so little intelligence. I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember, you know, when before the Gray Ghost came out, when you contacted me, Jim, because you were like one of my early fans on my channel. I don't know why it was me you picked, but you liked what I was doing, and you showed me that. I was like, these guys are out of their minds, but I'm so glad they're doing it. And I was like, I was really hoping. I didn't know if it would. I was worried, but I believed in you, and I thought this is fantastic because I know what was in store for you. And you guys punched right through.
You know it's funny, Matt. Everybody I talked to said nobody wants NASCAR. NASCAR's dead. Everybody, every single person.
Because
I mean, everybody in this hobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody in the hobby said NASCAR's dead. And I thought, you're an idiot. They got 70 million fans. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
We can't find, a couple thousand of their 70 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
That want to build a model. You know, I mean,
come out with
the numbers just didn't.
That was just though. That was. I think the Oldsmobile was the perfect first one for you because that caught attention. That was a missing link in our hobby, and I knew that there were still a lot of NASCAR modelers out there, and they were just fractured, and there wasn't much out there, and I think you guys breathed life back into the NASCAR modeling side of the model car building because it just exploded. You go to shows today and some of the big shows, and that class has grown huge, and we see so many of your kits being built, put on the table, and it's really it was cool to see that happen. That took a lot of guts to do, or you just didn't know what you were walking into, one or the other.
Rick saw a survey that the number one most desired NASCAR kit by modelers at the time was the 442, and then the number two was the Monte Carlo. That's why those were our first kits. Because
smart move.
Not you can't tell it by looking at him, but Rick's pretty smart. And he picked those, and they were good choices.
Oh yeah.
What we've tried to do is make good choices. Oh, somebody has entered, but she's soaking wet. She's not getting in my lap this morning.
I bet Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, the top two selling cars this year. Well, I got shot down on both of them right in the meeting, so I made them anyways. Right, the whiskey car. And the Chase Elliott car from the last weekend.
Oh, no kidding.
And I made him anyways because I figured I knew better. So,
well, you're just not.
Nobody would want a Justin Allgaier.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But
Justin Allgaier. It isn't Justin Allgaier. It's Dell Jr. Guys, wake up.
Oh heck yeah.
And I'll be honest, it turned out unbelievable for us. Whenever he made that race and Kelly and Dale were out there, that was gold. Deal. NASCAR gold there.
I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you. So it is, as far as I'm concerned, it is not a rumor. It is official now because Dale Jr. said it's happening. Is Days of Thunder 2. Okay. So what do you think?
Well, we're gonna have to hit Megan up. You know they're gonna offer us the license.
Oh yeah.
No, Megan and Heather
got to do Days of Thunder.
And it's gonna be in the next gen car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be totally involved in it. Yeah.
You know,
That would be awesome.
God,
if Dodge was
we can
smart,
finally make your favorite driver, Matt. Cole Trickle,
Rick-
baby.
Rick,
The greatest
if
NASCAR. If they don't,
if Stellantis was
go ahead, Jim.
smart,
I'm sorry.
yeah, if Stellantis was smart, they would real quick hammer out a body and join the cup race and sponsor Cole Trickle's team. They would get so much advertisement out of the new Charger or whatever car they're going to have. You know what? Maybe they should call it a Magnum. That would shut up some of our builders.
Oh boy!
If Dodge came out and had their car for Cole Trickle for that movie, that would be a brilliant piece of marketing for them to reintroduce themselves, coming back to NASCAR. And you have talked about how Cole Trickle did more for NASCAR than anybody else.
That's very true.
Cole Trickle only drives Chevys. Tell him, Matt.
Well,
Cole Trickle only drives.
It depends on who's throwing the money at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chevy.
It'd be easier if they stick with Chevy.
Cole Trickle only drives Chevy.
It'd be easier if they stick with Chevy because you already have a body.
Right. But I don't know. By the time the movie comes out, they might change it, but that's good. I can't wait. Actually, I want them to change that body. The Chevy's the best selling car there is, and so a body change on the Chevy means, it's a good investment, Toyota, not so much. There's not very many cars, but a body change on a Chevy, that's a good thing.
Yep.
So
Brian,
we're waiting patiently.
Brian, you think it's expensive for us to buy a mold? It would be more expensive for us to put a decal on a cup car than to buy a mold for an entire kit. But that doesn't mean we wouldn't love to if we had the opportunity to do a freebie.
That would be cool.
Yep.
Yeah. If any of the cup teams ever watch one of these shows, we do supply decals for free. So just to let them know,
just
right?
to let you know.
We'll give them all the stickers they want.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how big they are. They can get pricey, right, Matt?
Oh yeah.
Those I don't know if we could afford a hood decal, but
we would
maybe one of those small ones. But anyways, it's that'd be exciting. I mean, I don't understand, and I say this sincerely. Tom Cruise should be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a special inductee, not as a driver, not just a special thing at the NASCAR Hall of Fame commemorating.
He did a lot.
And it could not just be him. I don't know. Yeah, him and the other people involved. You know what I mean? Just Days of Thunder should have some kind of recognition in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Because it's really what put NASCAR on the map.
It did.
I mean, we can sit there and say the 79 race. No way. It was Days of Thunder. Put it,
Yeah.
It exploded after that.
Everything changed after that.
Yep. It's it's before Christ, after Christ, right? Before Days of Thunder. After Days of Thunder.
3 Days of Thunder.
That was a great movie. What's funny is, Rush was a great movie, but it had no impact. I love as far as Ron Howard did a phenomenal job on it.
But it was about history, though. But this Formula One, I've been
you're right.
Seeing a lot of this new Formula One with Brad Pitt. This movie's doing really well, and they're expecting it to do for F1 what Days of Thunder did, and it's Jerry Bruckheimer who did that movie, and now he's going to go do Days of Thunder. Yeah, that guy knows what he's doing, and having the right people involved. So I think it's going to be
this way. Days of Thunder, you waited in line like the Beatles movies to get in. Like I remember A Hard Day's Night in Hell. The lines were curved through the parking lot to get in to see Days of Thunder. It was like Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
This Formula One movie, I don't even know anyone's seen it yet. And who wants to go watch a 60-some-year-old guy? It's just not believable. You know, even though Days of Thunder kind of isn't believable in a way, but
it was made up of real stories,
cool.
though.
The characters were cool.
The
it was made up of Tim Richmond and Harry Hyde, and
all
and
the
Rick
stories,
Hendrick, and you know,
all the stories were real stories. All that ice cream, the everything, that all really happened.
Yeah,
and that's what was really neat. I loved how all the little stories, urban legends and stuff like that they threw into that. The guy who wrote the screenplay, he made a point of going and talking to everybody and writing down all these great stories, and he seemed to put them all in a pot, mixed it all up, and came up with a whole story, plot that worked, I guess. But it was a fun movie. It did give you a little bit of insight into NASCAR. Got a lot of people interested, and did a great job debuting the Lumina, which that's the City Chevrolet Lumina. I was fortunate enough to be at one of the first races that they were shooting at. I didn't know what was going on, and I saw the City Chevrolet on the track running around. I didn't know what it was, but I couldn't keep I was a Darrell Waltrip fan, but I couldn't keep my eyes off this car, and I looked with my binoculars. I go, who the hell is Cole Trickle? Heard of Dick Trickle. He was out on the track running around in that Miller car. Who's this Cole Trickle? And back then, at the Phoenix race, a lot of Winston West guys would come and get in and qualify for that race. So I assumed it was a Winston West car. And it was, of course,
right,
I don't know.
Right,
I couldn't put two and two together. Or also the Exxon car tripped me out too. I didn't know what the heck that came from, and it was doing really good, and it was like up at the front of the field too. It qualified real good with Bobby Hamilton. But there were all these trucks. When I remember getting to the track, there was all these Paramount.
Didn't Greg Sachs drive?
Greg Sachs drove the City Chevrolet that day, and Bobby Hamilton drove the Exxon car. But he qualified so well that they pulled the camera equipment out and let him really run the car. So that was pretty interesting. That was pretty, the car did really well.
Yeah, Bobby got Richard's first win as an owner after he retired. That's right.
Yeah, that was
Bobby was a good driver, man.
That was his first Cup race, and he caught a lot of attention. That launched his career. Poor Craig Sachs, though, he's driving around that track that day. They were constantly going to the pits, to change the film. And watching the race, I had no idea. Wow, that team is really having some problems. But they were out there the whole race. They kept on running. He probably only made about half the laps, but he was there at the end. And it was gosh, that was such a beautiful car. And right away I was going, I got to build a model of that thing. And then when, turned out to be Days of Thunder, and of course Monogram beautifully put those kits out, I had to build one.
Yeah,
that's still my
Sarah
favorite.
Jane, our European friend, says the movie's doing great in Europe. Yeah, it ain't doing crud over here right now.
It's getting good reviews. I don't know how it's doing money wise.
They're pushing. They put a lot of money behind it because of Jerry Bruckheimer, but it's just not. I can just tell it's not digging in. I think actually over here the first Netflix series of F1 went over really well, and then I've seen that it kind of fell off the cliff, and we're on to the next. That Earnhardt thing's big right now. That Earnhardt series is on Prime, I think.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's phenomenal. It's Dell Jr. here. It's that interview show he does. It's everywhere. You go through
Oh,
Facebook,
yeah,
it's there. You go through
he's doing big
YouTube,
things.
it's there. You go, yeah. I mean, he's been phenomenal for this sport. And the Travelers
that's
whiskey
why-
car was just.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
everybody. And that's why, you know, I kept hearing about the Days of Thunder movie. Yeah, when I see it, I'll believe it. But when Dale Jr. said, "Yep, it's happening," okay, well, that's good enough for me. Then to me, it's official.
Tom
Well,
Cruise.
boys,
Is he gonna drive it? How old is he? 60?
Have no idea what it's
him and
about.
Brad Pitt are probably the same age.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's probably him teaching some young guy, I bet.
Oh,
Some
I'm sure
story.
it'll be that gag.
it should be that way.
Duvall passed away, right?
No, he's
I think
still
so.
around. He's pretty old, but he's still
around. I don't know if he could do a movie. He's pretty old. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be
But
able
yeah,
to come in a crotchety
who
and
knows?
attack people with a cane or
Hey,
something.
Tom Cruise doesn't make bad movies.
No, they always do
Well,
good.
Tom Cruise doesn't make bad movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just one of those guys that always makes good movies. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna go see the Formula One when it's free on my television.
Me too.
The Brad Pitt movie. But I just don't like the premise of a guy. It's not believable. You lose me. A 60-some-year-old guy is going to come in a Formula One car. I mean, and someone's going to let him drive the car. I mean, that alone, you lost me. As far as even winning, forget that. There ain't nobody in the world going to let a 60-year-old guy start a Formula One race. So the whole premise there is just idiotic. Now NASCAR, they will. James Hilton, there's been many a 60. James was in the 70s, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, it is believable in a NASCAR race, but if Formula One, no.
Yep.
Yeah, James passed away, didn't he? Driving home from a race.
I think so. But he was right up to the end. He was still competing.
So anyway, that's it's 8:02. Yeah,
it's over an
it's
hour
8:02.
Yep.
Thank you for having us, Jim, and happy anniversary.
Where was the cake?
And got a bunch of new kits out.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I thought there was going to be cake.
This was only the 7th anniversary.
It's
you got to wait till 10.
You didn't see the notice of bringing your own
like
cake.
the videos, guys. Share it.
I didn't have any cake. All I had was.
But anyways, yeah, we got a lot of great stuff coming out.
At least you were prepared.
Yeah.
I got a slice of pie in the refrigerator. I'll go.
Oh, there we go. Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for a great 7 years, and look forward to many, many, many more. And we're one kid away from achieving our dream, and then let's go beyond that. There's a lot of other types of cars out there.
Heck yeah.
When you think about it, we put out more race cars than people have put out new street cars.
Yes, that is true.
As far as designs, Le Mans 2+2, 2 of the Chargers, Roadrunners, the next gen cars, not even counting our monogram stuff, the Indy car. Who's done that in the last 7 years?
Yep.
Nobody.
2
idiots in a garage.
2 idiots in a garage.
Yep. So, all right, Colonel Sanders. We will.
Anyways, thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for spending your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, Sunday morning, stupid early. Our friends in Japan. Thanks for being here for that, and thanks for buying our kits, building our kits, and like I've said before, if you want us to show off some of your stuff, email me, jim@salvino.us. Email me some pictures of your builds. If they're good, I'm going to be happy to show them. So that's it. Have a good weekend, folks. Clubbies, we will see you Tuesday night. And everybody else,
All right.
we will see you next week. Let's get out of here.